In this episode, you'll learn all about threshold tests and 3 versus 5 zone heart rate zone models, my training updates and the music that I'm listening to, spicy, slow tempo intervals and appreciation, all so you can train, run, and live 1% better. Let's go.
D-Late creates.
All right, we are operating at no cap. Now we're at proper cap. It's not. What's the opposite of no cap? Slow and spicy. The perfect soundtrack for a long run. August 1% better. OPB. Running advice to elevate your life. Twice a month. Cheers to being in the 1% club. I don't advocate drinking. I hope that's non-alcoholic. No, you can drink. You're grown adults. I don't drink personally. Hopefully this will take 34 seconds to skim. And if you're reading it, 3 minutes for the long run. If you're reading it fully. If you're watching or listening, this might be 10 minutes because I want to elaborate on certain things. I think this stuff is fun. Welcome aboard, newcomers. With fresh enthusiasm, and to our long companions, we raise a cycling caps yet again. Yes, this is not a cycling cap. I know that. It's just a 5-panel denim cap. Hopefully these will be available for sale. And I don't know if you could see that one over there, that cycling cap over there. Oh, sorry, that running cap over there. No cap, tip the cap. Let's get into it. Please share this. Please share it out. Share the link for the newsletter, dlatecreates.com/news, or you can share the podcast link on whatever podcast player you listen to. There's a million of them out there. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. Or the YouTube link. Trying to be everywhere. Sponsor is Most Coach, master of some coaching. And I want to approach coaching in a generalist sort of way. It's a bit different to the way that maybe other coaches operate. Some people don't want the full coaching experience. Some people want to be over here and self-coach, but they need a bit of guidance. They need like a GP, like a general practitioner, a doctor that you go to before the specialist. I am here to help you with that. Go to email coach@dlatecreates.com or dlatecreates.com/coach can get you there. Let's get into it. Threshold tests for different sports and trying simplified heart rate methods. There's a gif of a guy running on a treadmill. I'm sure that was, that was definitely staged because you got a shot on top of the treadmill, but woo, that looks like it hurt. 3 versus 5 zone heart rate training model. And this was a video podcast that we did, which the video will be here soon. But you want to get the most out of your training for optimal running performance, right? And heart rate is crucial, but do we need the 5 zone heart rate model? The great news is that for most runners, the answer is no, a big fat no. We'll dig into the simpler 3 zone heart rate model, which I actually have turned into a 3 zone effort model, but get into that later. It might be for you, and it's way easier. After all, running doesn't have to be complicated. So you can listen here. There will be a YouTube link sometime in the future, so you can watch the video. First up, let's hit the basics. So heart rate, we talk about, how many times your heart beats per minute, obviously, but some people don't know that. HR, maximum heart rate, MHR, and anaerobic training. And we actually break this down. We got the IMAT formula, which is Mike Tree's formula. And we also have, do we have the IMAT? So this is the 3 intensity zones. This is lactic threshold broken into, and we actually can apply that to heart rate zones. So there is it's Mike Tree's IMAT. Let me see if this works. Come on. IMAT. Let's see. Yep, here it is. So there's a link to find your maximum heart rate. And I think that is actually calculate your maximum heart rate. It is right here. So if you click on that, you'll get that. And this is actually a bit better than the Maffetone method, which we talk about. And the Maffetone method is your age, 180 minus your age, and that gets you your maximum aerobic heart rate. The IMAT gets you your individual maximum. Slightly different. We go into detail. This is all just real general, just broad strokes. I've actually used the IMAT formula over the Maffetone one. And 3 zone heart rate model is defined: heart rate versus perceived effort. When should you use it? When you shouldn't. How to run the field and not use metrics data. Episode summary with a fun car analogy. Cars are great for running, and much more. Some notable quotables. The body isn't clever enough to know whether it's in Z1, Z2. So it's just in it. Heart rate training is like driving a car. You don't always need to know your speed. You just need to do it by feel. And a couple more quotes. What is it? Haven't dug into that. This is actually a work in progress. TBD. You get to learn the difference between the 3 and 5 zone models. And again, use heart rate training in combination with your own perceived effort, like pace, like chefing a gourmet meal. You got to use your own intuition and experiment with the flavors and the spices and adapt and change things up. Threshold tests for different sports. So you can learn more here, but I'll just sum it up really quick. This was an article about Training Peaks, which is actually a really cool way. So FTP tests, you might hear them for cycling, but you also can do threshold tests, lactic threshold tests for running. These actually swimming threshold test. These actually really good to do early in your build block. So it's probably after base, before you start doing your speed work, and well before the race. And then you want to do these probably every 4 to 6 weeks. I like to do them, but here's the breakdown. Threshold testing is crucial in improving your athletic performance. Why is it important? Look, we all want to be better and faster. This is why most people are into this newsletter. So these tests help you train the right intensity and measure the progress, because you feeling like you're fit is the worst way to do things. You need hard data, that's your own data, and then go from there. So feelings are relevant in the beginning and the end, not in the middle. You want to be data focused. How to do it? You could do it on 20-minute time trial or shorter tests like the 8-minute time trial for cycling, or 3-minute critical velocity test. Running, try a 30-minute time trial or use a recent 5K or 10K within the last 3 to 4 weeks. Cycling, do the standard 20-minute time trial or the 30-minute time trial, or 3 by 8 minutes. This is actually my favorite because I favor more, my strength is more towards fast twitch muscles. And swimming, perform a 1,000-meter time trial. I like to do 500-meter, but I'm a hack at most things. Don't worry if you've been putting it off your next field test. These are actually less taxing than doing the longer, hour-long field test. So with threshold testing, you can make this a fun part of training, which is more effective and enjoyable. All right, training updates and music I listen to when running. So, past things to learn from me. So, my training updates for July, it was a rough one, and it wasn't as bad as March. April, I had a bunch of stuff happening, but it definitely set me back. I was cruising hard with a lot of fitness gains, and sorry, I'm just gonna be looking over here, into late June, and then boom, life, sickness, family, etc. happened. Nothing catastrophic, but more of a wake-up call that I, 1, have zero control over everything. We all do. 2, the more ambition that I have to do stuff, the higher the risk that everything goes to chaos and goes wrong. And 3, we are just a rock floating in space inside a galaxy that is floating towards the great attractor. The last one was pretty existential and woo-woo and a bit dramatic, but I do woo-woo very well. Next year is looking more and more like a rebuild year, where I take off from racing and focus on building my body, aerobic engine, and general mind back. And the crazy thing, I don't even feel stressed out. It's like the tolerance for stress and chaos is so much higher. My tolerance right now. I still don't like it. I don't like being in chaos and things being out of control. But when I don't like things, I change them. So moving on. So music for my run. So I'm loving right now, and I've always loved drum and bass, and it's amazing, especially because you can control the tempo by using an app like VLC Player, or just YouTube searching a specific drum and bass mix. So this is one of my favorites here. It's actually this one down. This is one of my favorites here. The BPMs are a bit slow, so you have to use VLC Player to speed it up. And I actually will do future content on how to use VLC Player, and also how to use Spotify. Hip hop is great because it's 90 BPMs. And sorry, let's go back. So you want to be between 170 and 190 BPMs for running. Drum and bass music is perfect for that because it's actually hip hop times 2. It's actually it's double timed, and I won't go into the details of how that happened. But 90 BPM hip hop is great, or 90 BPM rock music is great. But there aren't a lot of mixes. So you want this, 45 hour long, hour and a half long mix. You want it to be fluid, where all the tracks blend into each other like a DJ mix. And I actually have only found one DJ mix, which is this one. It's a trip hop mix. So trip hop is like hip hop, but they call it trippy hip hop. Now it's probably lo-fi hip hop is a bit more, but it used to be called trip hop back in my day, 20 years ago. And I actually am thinking about maybe making some of these mixes, but that's future Darren stuff. There's a whole lot of stuff I need to get done. And I actually like trip hop because it's chill music, and when you play chill music, and some of the the lo-fi drum and bass music, when you play some of that, it actually, the chillness is cool when it goes against your running, because running is, it's energetic. I wouldn't say it's intense, but it's energetic. So will this play? How come we're not hearing anything? But hopefully it's playing. So yeah, this is the trip hop mix here. And there's nothing more to it. If you have YouTube Premium, you can actually put on your phone, close your phone. If not, then you got to download it somehow. The download, if this only happens at Premium and it downloads to your computer or device, you can't actually get the mix. So this is why I think I need to make mixes for you all, so you can play them on your mobile phones and have different genres, something I might do in the future. All right, spicy tempo intervals and appreciation. Shaq during the, that was a good one. First We Feast, Hot Ones. If you want to Google Shaq, Hot Ones, First We Feast with Sean. I forgot his name. It's really, really good. Hot Ones. Hot Ones, Shaq. Yeah, it's such a good episode. What is his name? The guy, Sean Evans. Yeah, he's really, really good at this. And I'm a big fan of the way this format is. And I'm like, is there a way I could do this for running and my content? So if you have a way you think I could do it, haven't yet figured it out. Physical thing for you to try. Spicy, slow tempo run. So this is interesting. So it's spicy, but it's also slow tempo run. It's kind of medium. So 1 kilometer, which is 0.61 miles or 2.5 on the laps on the track. For you metrically sensitive folks, I know out there, it's like, what's the metric system? Americans, get on it. Slow tempo repeat intervals for a 30-second burst with a 30-second burst at the end. That's that spicy part. Why is it important? Most of us don't run on a flat, straight line. Life is not like that either. Fitness as a metaphor for life. So you got to slow down and speed up, and it's kind of like a fartlek. So you got to run on sand, hills, quick sprint, pass the dog on the bike path, etc. When we race, the same thing happens. As much as you want to be racing at a certain pace, you're always figuring things out. Wind. Yes, I hear you in the back. Sounds like a fartlek workout. You are correct, but it's a bit more structured. I don't like fartlek because of its lack of structure. So how to implement it? The 1 kilometer part, 1K part, 0.61 miles. It's the sweet spot between your current, not goal, your current half marathon and marathon fitness pacing. And you want to use this pace for this and not heart rate or effort. Unlike my last article about heart rate training, which was up here. So this is actually outside of heart rate training. So this is effort or pace, and I'd actually do pace. The 30-second sprint is run between your 1 mile and 5K effort. You won't most likely feel 100% when you do this. Like, you won't feel like you're going as fast, but just feel like you're going as fast as you can. It's nice to blow out those cobwebs. And you should know these pacings by the last time trial or interval you've done in the last few weeks. So you don't do time trials or intervals, but actually talk about that in the last one. You can do slightly faster in your long run. So that's the 1K part. I would not do this without proper 6 to 8 weeks of base and having a few speed work, a few weeks of speed work under your belt. This is not an easy run. You don't want to just jump into this unfit. So I'd say 8 weeks of base, 2 weeks of a bit of speed work, and then try this workout when you're getting close to, a bit more fit, much more fit. Question, this is the mental thing for you to try ASAP. Appreciation. What is something wonderful about your long run that you appreciate, that you rarely appreciate as much as you should? So think about it. Hit me with a reply answer. You can answer this email. You can reply on Instagram. The link will be TBD, because the Master of Sun community wants to learn from everyone, and we want to get 1% better in our lives, in our running and training and business and lives, and our family and our friends' life. So I love Marvel comics and movies. They transport me back to when I was a kid. Their storylines, themes, and lessons learned are applicable to pretty much everything I do in life. They focus on everyone's superpowers being a mind-body connection, like a superhero powering up before a big fight, reflecting on the positive aspects of long runs can be powerful. And by intentionally seeking out the good in our experiences, we can shift our focus away from the negative and cultivate a more positive mindset. Mindset is everything. Reflecting on the positive aspects of your daily experiences, whether it's your morning run or morning cup of coffee. Make a list of things you appreciate and refer to it when you need a boost of positivity. When we are grateful, things are better. When we are resentful, life is suffering. You can control all this. Our mental states usually have a strong effect on our physical performance. You have full control on how you react to situations. Life is a bunch of variables. And Guess My Job is here for August 2023, 1% better.
Delay Creates.